In this video, we are going to discuss derivative of inverse hyperbolic function. Okay, we can refer from this table. Okay, firstly, we can refer from derivative of inverse trigonometric function. Okay, we have 6 formula under derivative of inverse trigonometric function. The first formula is derivative of inverse sine x equals to 1 over sec 1 minus x squared. Okay, and then the second one is derivative of inverse cos x equals to negative 1 over square root of 1 minus x squared. It is similar to formula derivative of inverse sine, but we have negative sign here. Okay. Okay, and then derivative of inverse tangent x equals to 1 over 1 plus x squared. Okay, no square root, and in between is plus. Okay, formula number 4 in derivative of trigo function is derivative of inverse cot x equals to negative 1 over 1 plus x squared. It is similar to formula derivative of inverse tangent, but we have negative sign in front. Okay, and then formula number 5 is derivative of inverse sec x equals to 1 over modulus x square root of x squared minus 1. Okay, and formula number 6 is derivative of inverse cosec x, which is equals to negative 1 over modulus square root of x squared minus 1. It is similar to formula derivative of inverse sec x, but we have negative sign in front. Okay, the first 3 formula is quite popular in final exam papers. Okay. Okay, now let me look for derivative of inverse hyperbolic function formula. Okay, the first one, derivative of inverse sinh x equals to 1 over square root of 1 minus x squared. Okay, it is similar to formula derivative of inverse sine, but in between is plus. Okay, it also similar to derivative of inverse tangent x, but inverse tangent x don't have square root. But for derivative of inverse sinh x has square root symbol here. Okay. And then the second one, derivative of inverse cos x. It is equals to 1 over square root of x squared minus 1. Okay. It is quite similar to formula derivative of inverse sine x, but okay, but for derivative of inverse cos, x squared come first. Okay, for derivative of inverse sine x, 1 come first. Okay, and then formula number 3 under derivative of hyperbolic function, inverse hyperbolic function is derivative of inverse tan x equals to 1 over 1 minus x squared, no square root. Okay, it is similar to derivative of inverse sine, but for inverse sine has square root symbol. Okay, and for derivative of inverse tan x, no square root symbol. Okay, and then formula number 4 is derivative of inverse cot x. Okay, it is equals to 1 over x squared minus 1. Okay, it is similar to derivative of inverse tan x, but for derivative of inverse cot x, x squared come first. Okay. And then formula number 5 is derivative of inverse sec x. It is equals to negative 1 over x square root of 1 minus x squared. Okay. It is similar to formula derivative of inverse sec, but in derivative of inverse sec x, 1 come first inside square root symbol. Okay. And we have negative sign here. And then the last formula under derivative of inverse hyperbolic function is derivative of inverse cosec x. It is equals to negative 1 over x square root of 1 plus x squared. Okay. If you are unable to memorize this formula, okay, you can retrieve from appendix. Okay. Okay, how to get formula of inverse sinh x? Okay, we can refer from appendix number 17. Okay, but this is formula for integration actually. Okay, we can use this. Okay, when we integrate 1 over square root of a squared plus x squared, the answer is inverse sinh x over a. Okay, we just replace a by 1. So we have x over 1, which is x only. Means that when we differentiate inverse sinh single x, okay, it become 1 over square root of, we replace a by 1, so 1 plus x squared here. Okay, here. Okay, and after that, to retrieve formula inverse derivative of inverse cos x, okay, you can refer from appendix number 18. Okay. Okay, from here, we just replace a by 1. So we have inverse cos x. Okay, when we move integration to right hand side, we have derivative. So means that derivative of inverse cos x equals to 1 over square root of x squared minus, we replace a by 1, so we have 1 squared or 1 here. Okay. Okay, and then to find formula of inverse tan x, okay, we can refer from appendix formula number 19. Okay. From this formula, we replace a by 1. Okay. If we want to integrate 1 over a squared minus x squared, it becomes 1 over a inverse tan x over a. So when we move integration to right hand side, we have derivative formula. So means that when we differentiate 1 over, we replace a by 1, so 1 over 1, which is 1. Okay, so when we differentiate inverse tan x, okay, we replace a by 1 just now. So the answer should be 1 over 1 minus x squared. Okay, no square root. Okay, from here. Okay, and then to retrieve formula derivative of inverse cos x, we can refer from formula number 19, but the second row. Okay, if we have integration of a squared minus x squared, it will equals to 1 over a inverse cos x over a plus c. Okay, if modulus x greater than 1, means that x squared will come first. Okay. Okay, so from this formula, modulus x greater than a means that, okay, x squared come first. Okay, like this. Okay, and then to find formula for inverse sec x, we can refer formula number 20. And again, we replace a by 1. Okay, and we move integration symbol to right hand side, so we have derivative formula. So when we differentiate negative inverse sec x, it becomes 1 over x square root of 1 minus x squared. Okay, but that one is when we differentiate negative. So we can move negative to left hand side, so we have derivative of inverse sec x equals to negative 1 over x square root of 1 minus x squared. Okay. And the last one, to find the formula for inverse derivative of inverse cos sec x, okay, we retrieve from formula number 21 in appendix. Okay. Again, we move integration symbol to right hand side, so we have derivative formula. Okay, and we move negative here to left hand side. So we have negative here. Okay, so means that, and at the same time we replace a by 1. So means that when we differentiate inverse cosec x over 1, okay, which is x, it becomes negative 1 over x square root of 1 plus x squared. Or we can write like this. Okay, negative 1 over x square root of 1 plus x squared here. Alright? Got it? So, these are the formulas for derivative of inverse trigo function and formula for derivative of inverse hyperbolic function. Okay? It looks like similar, so that's why you need to refer from appendix. Okay? Coming up next, we will discuss simple example for derivative of inverse hyperbolic function. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Bye. Assalamualaikum.